Alright, the surprise Mythisch of Zero is here, along with some Alphard support, so let's begin. So first off, we're going to start off with the Alphard stuff with Crowd Roll Dragon, which is a grade 2 attack your power on the skill is count rearguard during your turn if you have at least a grade 3 Vanguard Alphard plus 5k, with the second skill of auto rearguard when you're at least grade 3 Vanguard Alphard attacks. If you do not have a rearguard that stood this battle this turn, cost damage plus 3 to stand this unit, and then plus 10k power in turn. While this card is actually pretty good, it is unfortunate that Gamma Rays, the other restander, requires the same condition of not standing another rearguard in the same turn. And Gamma Rays lets you draw a card as well, although that one costs Counterblast while this one uses energy. So it is depending on format or how you built the deck, but I can say this is a nice alternate option just in case you need more restanders, especially for the fact that it's already 15k attacker on its own. And then we go to Outburst Dragon, which is a grade 1 with your power in the skill is auto when placed on rearguard, and if you have either a grade 3 Alphard in the right deck or your Vanguard is a grade 3 Alphard, cost Counterblast 1, look at top 7 cards of your deck to choose either one grade 3 Alphard from among them, or a Crimson Moon card, reveal it and put it in your hand, of course shuffle your deck, but if you could not add a card, you soul charge 2. Basically Persona Ride or Crimson Moon Searcher, which is very essential for Alphard since Alphard really needs those Crimson Moons, but in a way it's also a soul charge engine if you need it, so this is already worth running in the deck just for its searching skill. With the second skill where auto rearguard when this card boosts, if a phantom skill of your at least grade 3 Alphard was used during the turn, plus 5k power in a turn. This skill you're probably not going to really be using at all unless if you're actually going to use the phantom skill every single turn just for the extra crit, but most of the time you're going to save it up just for that guard restrict phantom skill that can only be used once. So more here for the searching. And now to the Blangdmire stuff, starting with Scene Fighter Derusha, which is a grade 1 with your power in the skills. Auto rearguard at the end of this unit boosts a rearguard. If you have at least a grade 3 Vanguard Blangdmire cost, put that rearguard into the soul and retire this unit to draw a card. I hate that it's basically a -2 for a draw 1, at least the other card goes to soul, so it does have its uses, it's just unfortunate it has to be until grade 3 turn. If it was earlier game, then it might not be as bad. And then we go to the Mythisch of Zero Grivardhy, which is a grade 2 with 10 power and the skill is count. It is also treated as Cater Sanctuary, which makes me wonder why they didn't just make this as dual nation, but then I just remember since this is an ability and there are cards that can nullify abilities, this can kind of make sense, so the original one is being at Dark State, in which the main skill is count. If you have at least a grade 3 Vanguard Blangdmire, you get all the following: auto soul and drop at the start of the main phase. If you do not have a copy of itself on rearguard, you may call this to rearguard, and if you call it at the end of turn, put this to the bottom deck, which is very helpful for both Blangdmire decks because any pluses is always pretty nice, especially if it's free, especially since Dark State Blangdmire really actually needs those extra pluses sometimes. In which the second skill is auto rearguard at the start of the battle phase. This card gets plus 5k power until the end turn, and then choose one of your rearguards, it gets the boost ability into the end turn, which is also very useful for both decks, especially since Dark State Blangdmire actually plays a lot of powerful grade 2s, and it's just nice that you could actually use those powerful grade 2s as big ass boosters, especially since I still remember Hostage. While Cater not as much, it is nice for that option. Which finally to its last skill, which could only be used with the divine skill of Blangdmire, so Dark State, auto rearguard at the end of that your Vanguard attack. If you use Blangdmire's divine skill for this fight and you do not stand a rearguard in this battle, cost energy blast 3 and stand all your rearguards in the same column as this unit. So the thing I kind of don't like is the if you did not stand during the battle this turn, so that means that you can't combo this with Alchemist to give you 5 attacks on divine skill and onwards, although by chance you might still be using Alchemist a little more just because of the energy usage, as the energy usage is usually used by Zamug, and it could be used as an alternate restand option on divine skill turns after. But overall it's very good for both variation of Blangdmire. Not only that it could be a free call from whether from soul or drop, which both decks do use, but also giving the boost ability, which also both decks can use. I just find it kind of funny that this is also treated as a Cater as an ability. And then finally, here's a secret rare, and like always, pretty awesome. And then next week, we got more Bang Dream stuff, but I'm not going to go over that. Instead, there is also Kaketsu's cards that he's going to be using in the anime, which I hope it's going to be a new Vezru, or a Ultimate Mythisch. And so that's it for the new support for both Blangdmire and Alphard. What do you guys think of it? Alphard is just more options since the deck does need it, especially when we get another alternate restander that cannot be used with the other restander. But Blangdmire, the Mythisch is definitely pretty awesome. Phantom. Could be used with both variations of Blangdmire, which I actually kind of like, even though it makes more sense just to make it Dark State, but at the same time, since the character was still Phantom and only just recovered his old memories, I can kind of get the idea where it could be used in both nations. And once again, another Mythisch being a good support for the decks that they're supposed to be in. Just a little surprised that this Mythisch doesn't actually search for your alternate form just like the other ones. But for what it can do, definitely pretty decent. But other than that, it's for this, and see you all next time.